We definitely gonna be talking about finance. This is my buddy from way back by the name of Matt Brady. How you doing, Mr. Matt Brady?
Hey, Nas, I'm very honored to have been invited to be a guest on your podcast and the podcast that we're doing right now. So thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure, man. The most pleasure that I will get out here is educating the people to finance and I know you have a lot of insight on what's going on in the currency and today's cyber money. And a lot of people be kind of skeptical of currency investing and don't know what's good and what's bad out here, and we hope that you can share some kind of light to the situation, where as though you can help us out. You know.
Well, I appreciate the fact that you honor me enough to ask me to come and give whatever insight that I may have that may be able to help people make some financial decisions which are critical to make. We only have a limited amount of time, and the better decisions that we can make, you don't have to retrace and screw up what you did.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So my thing is, right, education is the key to just about everything that's out here. And what I'm trying to do is to bring awareness to not only investing, just the knowledge on what you're investing in, because people have the slightest idea what currency money is. So yeah.
Well, my thoughts on education are kind of like when you look at rampant inflation, which is occurring now in the economy, and it's like destroying the purchasing power of people, okay, inflation is 8%, but eggs went from $2 a dozen, $5 a dozen in a year.
Well, it's $10 a dozen now.
Well, whatever it is, it's way ahead of whatever they call the cost of inflation or the price of inflation.
Right.
Or the growth of inflation.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now we have to find enough money to, keep up with. If the price of a dozen eggs went from $2 to $10, that's a 500% increase. And then he gave everybody an 8.7% increase in Social Security. That doesn't keep up with the price of eggs. So how do we make the extra money that we need? And what are good avenues, what are good areas of employment to get involved with that will help us live
that was the next question.
sustainably?
That was the next question that I was going to ask, because speaking on finance, what if I didn't have a lot of money to invest? Maybe could I earn the try maybe like $100 or $20, a start or something in that nature?
It's really interesting because a lot of things that are not considered traditional jobs but are now called side gigs have started to flourish. And people realize that, gee, if I get an $8 or $10 an hour job and I get a $2 an hour increase and I go up to $12, well, it doesn't keep up with that 500% inflation rate of eggs. I'm still chasing my tail.
Exactly. Okay. And a lot of people are facing that situation. But, you have a problem and then you have a solution to the problem. Where I'm trying to, help the people is the solution to the problem. And that's how can I make extra money not only into crypto but into anything that's out there that's a smoking gun or something that's making money.
Well, one of the good things that has occurred, okay, is the concept of people just falling behind, but realizing they want to hustle. They want to make sure that their bills are paid, their credit doesn't get bad, and the concept of what's your side hustle? What are you doing on the side to make money? What are you doing to make ends meet when your salary isn't doing the job? What can you do? Well, my best answer to that is find something you like and try to do something that it pays you to do something you actually like.
Well, this is what we're here to try to find out more about crypto money, because a lot of people, they like to be entrepreneurs. We have entrepreneurs that's listening, self-employed people, independent financially. So for those people that really want to invest, would you say what market would you might be the safest and what might be the worst market? Or how can I make this $100 invest, or this $20,000 invest, or when I'm investing? Do you have a tip on something or anything that can help the people to actually help pay for those eggs and help pay for increasing rates?
Well, the best investment idea that I could come up with is that if you like something that you do and you're good at it, invest in yourself. Okay? Stock market has had very disappointing results in the last few years. Crypto has been blown apart, and if you have something you like, put some money into it, develop your skills.
So, I've been trying to get the answer out of you, and it sounds like that. Don't, everybody believing to their talent and to their skills, but people need to make extra money. What I'm trying to get from you, so it sounds like you're saying don't invest into crypto.
Um, no, I personally wouldn't. I invested in 13 or 14 cryptocurrency coins. The only one I actually made money in was Dogecoin, which I did buy it, fortunately, and my average cost was like 4 cents, went up to 72 cents. I started bailing out of it. I used an old stock broker tool, which was averaging down. So every time it dropped to a certain point, I would cut a position in it. All right. So my average cost was 4 cents. It went up to 72 cents. All right. I had about 26,000 of these. Right. So when it broke a threshold, which was my stop loss point, which is a brokerage term expression, I said, get me out of 5.
Okay.
And when it hit 65, I said, get me out of another 5. When it hit 60, I said, get me out of another 5. When it hit 55,000, I said, get me out of another 5. So I still did well. All right,
So-
but the rest I got skunked.
So, when you say get me out, what does that mean? You invest more, or you just
Now you put a stop loss position on it.
that's what the people need to know. So, but what I'm trying to do for the people is bring them more income. So you say crypto is basically off the tables for you. So do you have?
I don't believe in it. It's non-regulated.
Okay, all right. So how could they make money off of stocks? Or
Well, okay, right now we're in a rising interest rate environment, and that's always death blow for the stock.
you made a lot of money off of stocks, or did
I
you not?
did, and I did.
So this is what they need to know.
But
How
I
you
don't
make
have it.
money?
So
how
okay,
how can they
you
make
lose
money?
You lose.
How can they make money off of stocks? What is the
Right
best?
now,
They need to put their money
I
into
don't think
something
the
that's going
stock
to grow.
market's a good position right now.
You okay? All right. Let me put it this way then. I need you to tell me something that we can make money and not lose money in, because everything is lose, lose, lose. What ideal is on the table?
What do you like to do?
Well, we know that's the thing is people doing what they like, but they like to do other things. So I'm getting not into me. I'm trying to find out.
What does anybody like to do? I mean, do you like messing with computers? Do you like dealing with videography? Do you like dealing with like physical fitness?
Well-
Invest in being a fitness instructor. Invest in becoming a videographer. Invest in learning how to code. Invest in yourself. That's your best investment.
So the investment thing is right. They need extra, like we were saying. the prices of eggs is $10 a carton now. So we need extra money. So
Invest in chickens. I don't know, but like that's not the real answer. I'm being facetious. I'm joking about it, but that's the wo- that's the way the world is going. They're just trying to take advantage of people.
so I thought you did pretty good in the stock. So that's why I also um, invited you to the show to educate the people to so their income can can grow and their knowledge can grow. And it sounds like that. You know, I know some people that say you make a lot of money in stocks. I know a lot of people that say you make a lot of money in currency. And I'm just trying to enlighten the people on how could they actually make money for their career to go off. See, they can believe in all they want to believe in it, but if they don't have no money to fund it,
Well, to start with the stock market, okay,
okay, talk to me about the stock market.
I would start with good dividend investing stocks, common stocks, okay, that pay a good, dividend
Okay, now we're
every
getting
year.
somewhere. What do
Okay.
you consider as a common stock?
Well, common stock is a stock that's held by the common shareholders that are, as if I own one share of Coca-Cola, I'm one share of their common stock. I actually own a very small fractional piece of the company. Warren Buffett owns a lot of Coca-Cola. He's a very large shareholder. Okay? Pays a nice dividend. They own a lot of other things. They own Seagram's. And I also hate to say this, but you know what? Considering the fact that so many people have addictions to things such as alcohol or tobacco, a couple of the best performing companies that have just mirrored the performance of the stock market and sustained a stellar performance over the years have been companies that advocated and marketed those vices that people just cannot give up. Philip Morris is a great example. Anheuser-Busch, they make liquor, booze, and tobacco. All right? Bet against that. You're a winner right there.
You mean far as into stock, put your money into stock or bet against it, or put your money into
No, I'd say I'm not saying that that's all they make.
no.
Philip Morris is one that they own.
Understand what I'm saying. So you're saying put your money into those companies. That'll be a great investment.
Well, I would think that a base of your portfolio, your stock portfolio, should be companies that regularly pay dividends and constantly increase their growth and they're profitable. You know, who cares if it's 4% or 6% a year, but if they do it steadily, it's a lot better than a company that does. I'm up 200% in performance growth this year, but I'm down 400 next year. Well, in the following year they go bankrupt.
I have a question. What investing advice would you give someone in financial debt?
Pay off your debt as quickly as possible and get out of it.
So do you have any kind of business plan that you know what I'm saying, you feel somebody should look into?
Well, first of all, I would consciously get in touch with your debt collectors, and then see if there's a way to reduce the debt, pay it off monthly, and get it knocked off your credit record. Because the difference in life between having a $450 or $500 credit score versus having one that's 700 or better is, it's night and day. And trust me, for somebody who's had an under 500 credit score, when, it's like, I didn't know what the fuck happened, excuse my French, but it could be medical bills, it could be anything that you just didn't even know were there. Be conscious of what's on your credit score, okay? And that will significantly improve your life. Not only will it improve your life and the cost of credit cards you might be able to get, interest rate that you pay on them, but even jobs. They look at your credit score. If they think, well, this guy can't reliably, pay whatever he allegedly owes, how can I trust him to reliably show up at work?
I'm glad you mentioned that. So that's where a lot of people is where I'm trying to get at. Some people don't have the opportunity, but they still have to live. Just because their credit score is messed up, they still want to invest. They still need to make money. They still need to survive as well. And sometimes those are the people that, not to be targeting, but those are the people that are really listening and trying to find out how to get out of situations, because sure, they done got themselves in a situation. Now the thing is how to get out. I know one thing: you can opt out on a lot of things. You can go over your credit report and a lot of things that, some things that you didn't spend, some things that it wasn't you, and just let your bank know that that's not me. And so when you opt out, you stop getting all those negative things reported to your credit report. I'm no expert, but I do know about opting out on certain situations. But the thing is, back to stocks, I would invest into Nikes. So that's the whole thing. What could we tell the people to make money off of? I would invest into
Well,
Nikes.
okay, if I was
Let,
going
let me just finish that.
All right.
Reason why I invest into Nikes because I buy Nikes for my kids.
right,
I buy Nikes for my son. I give away presents for Nikes, and I wear Nikes. So uh, I think you should invest into basically what you do, what you eat, and what you wear.
okay. Well, the New York stock symbol for Nike is NKE, if anybody wants to invest in it. Okay, and if you're starting out with $50, 100, 200, $500 a month, and you can't even buy one share of Nike, a good way to go is stash. I like stash.
And
You
what
can
is
buy
that?
fractional shares of a stock. So let's say you want to build $1,000 portfolio and you only have $100 a month to spend for it. Well, in 6 months, you'll have $1,000 portfolio. And you could buy into 20 different stocks that you actually like. It could be Apple, it could be Nike, it could be Coca-Cola, it could be Disney, it could be Samsung, it could be foreign stocks that you don't, 100 shares, one share of those stocks might be $5 or $600, and you don't have $500 or $600, but you want to put $50 in it, and you want to develop those 20 stocks. Stash is good. Stash is real good. I have that for myself. All right.
So what is stash? What is stash? What the hell is stash? Stash sounds like something that you hide away. I'm not sure.
Well, I suppose that's what it probably means. You're stashing away your cash.
So how do I get to what? I don't know about stash.
www.stash.com.
So like what is stash? It's like a bank.
They'll take $1 from you, man.
So basically it's like
And they do have a bank account. They'll get a Visa and a credit card too.
I got it. It's like that credit card that builds your
I
credit
have it
up.
in my
Okay.
pocket right now.
I
It's
can't.
not like Chime, but
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Charm.
It's an investing app, a financial technology
it's a
company.
good one.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
it
right. So yeah, we want to end.
I've-
And there's no transaction cost.
yeah.
That's the other thing. Transaction costs will burn you to death.
So you can make money or get your credit together with them.
Yeah, you get your credit together. Okay, and this is the other thing that's really simplified transforming your credit. All right? Because credit, Equifax, TransUnion, and FICO, well, they'll screw you up as quick as they can blink their eye. All right? But that really doesn't make a difference because now you can, unblink their eye just as quick as they screw you. All right? It used to take, you had to spend whatever postage it was to send 3 letters to those 3 different credit union reporting companies. Now you can do it directly online. All right? So Capital One, the credit card company, you can get right on their credit thing and contest whatever your credit score or whoever's reporting negative credit junk against you immediately,
Right.
without having to buy envelopes, go to postage, go to the post office, and feel like hanging yourself before it's all over. But this is quick. Now you can do it quick.
Are there any good habits you feel somebody has to pick up before they can invest or have the discipline to do any kind of risky, money, be in any kind of risky money situation where they would have to invest?
Well, I would obviously recommend that make sure that your monthly cash flows are more positive than negative. Okay, and then when you get to a point where your positive cash flow is a couple $100 a month to $500 a month, start saving that. Don't go hog wild. Okay, and try to get yourself up to at least a few $1,000s a month. All right, and then start going with something like cash, and then one of the most profitable areas of trading that I've ever utilized, we're doing credit spreads on options. Now that's rather complicated, and I'm not going to get into it right now.
I mean, can you at least summarize it?
Yeah.
Well, you quantify what your possible gain is and quantify what your possible loss is, okay? And you want to make sure that your possible gain is about 2/3 of whatever your possible loss is. So you want to minimize that to 1/3, okay? And then I wrote a lot of bull put spreads, and I did pretty well on those.
So I have another question.
What's an option? What's a put? What's it called? Blah blah blah. How do you short it? How do you go along it?
Are there any resources online that anybody can look into to that you would recommend for learning about investing?
Oh yeah, and it's really, I'm glad you actually asked that question, because so many of the firms that are really appealing to novice investors, people with a couple $1,000 that they have that they want to really start investing, they really try to burn them. They really try to fleece them. Okay, so I'm going to give you one is it's geared toward options, and the guys who started this particular website, tastytrade.com, were actually guys who are from the CBOE, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange in Chicago. Okay, they were Merc traders. Okay, and then they set up the options desk for TD Ameritrade. They're good. They're really good. And they'll let you set up what now has become rather popular, both amongst Tasty Trade and even like E-Trade or T-Trade America, are what's known as paper accounts. Okay, so they'll give you a hypothetical $250,000 of money and let you start trading it.
So,
And if you blow yourself up, it didn't cost you a nickel. Okay, they're just giving you play money to play with, and they want you to become a client of theirs once.
Okay, so if somebody wanted to start something like that tonight or tomorrow morning, how would they go about it?
They would go straight on the website, Tasty Trade or TD Ameritrade, or even I think E-Trade even has it.
so let me ask you: would you have your LLCs, or you would just go on the site?
Yeah, just do it yourself. Just learn the skills. It's like taking foul shots.
So no,
You know?
but if I'm gonna give you this type of money, I want to ensure the money.
Yeah, but you're not giving anybody anything. It's free.
So
And learn what you're doing first before you put LLC money in.
But I'm also quite sure you're familiar with SBA. I'm quite sure you worked there a few years ago. Isn't that sort of kind of on the same platform?
Not necessarily. Okay, SBA loans. I worked for the SBA. It was my first job out of college,
Shout out to Lowski with the subscription.
For sure.
and I was doing loan investigations for criminal background, like blah 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 blah. So, you know, I didn't do it that long. I was there for 3 or 4 months. Then I went to John Hancock, got into insurance, financial services, and then I did that the rest.
All right, we're gonna pause the podcast and come right back to it in a
Okay,
little bit.
intermission real quick.
Intermission, real quick.
All right. Ooh, you gonna get the door, Yank?
All right, we're back on there. I'm sorry. What were you saying before we cut off?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we were talking about a couple websites that I liked. That
Tasties, something like
a
that.
Tasty Trade, okay, and paper accounts that people can actually start trading. They'll give you a hypothetical $250,000 that you can, you know, try out various trading strategies.
So I understand what you just said. Training
Trading strategies.
strategy. So that means not being a nobody, but what about my credit is not up to par?
It doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't make a difference. What about my business education? What if my LLC is not together? What if my
It's got nothing to do with this.
so I don't need a business permit. I don't
No,
need
you're trying to learn how to trade.
so
That's all you're trying to do.
okay.
It's nothing to do with LLCs,
So
business permits.
so what is the trade that I'll be learning if I go to the website, sign up and ask for
Okay, where's Microsoft trading at right now? Can you look that up?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna get to the nitty gritty of this here, y'all. We're trying to get this money to y'all real. So just pay attention and listen up real closely. Have your pens and pencils out because this here is very seriously.
Microsoft trades at Nasdaq.
Yeah, and what is the trading price? What did it close? Friday. Today's Sunday. All right.
Yeah.
And where's the chart? You can look up the chart. It's trending lower or higher? I think it's trending higher.
Excuse me, go.
Yeah, they're up. It's 239. That's how much. I'm pretty sure the minimum.
Well, 239 share, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, how much did it go up or down Friday?
It went up 30%.
Went
Oh, my
up
fault. No,
30%.
not Friday, not Friday, not Friday. That was that was today.
Can I see your screen?
Sure.
Or you want me
This
to
is
walk
gonna
over
be-
there? Or, you know what? I got it. I can pull it up. All right.
Okay.
I'm just going to give you an example of an option.
Okay, pull that up and we can elaborate on a few things. And these are the most important things that people really need to know, the nitty gritty of how can I make money. All right, I know I'm in finance debt, and I'm tired of everybody saying I can't get nothing done. But I need to see some people that can help me out. And if y'all paying attention, y'all can get the right help. You know.
I'm giving, this is really a rather, I'm trading spreads. This is not for the beginner, all right? No, I'm not connected.
Well,
Right.
some people are in on different levels that are listening to this show, and some people are pros that just want to get more help
Well, I'd
as
have
well.
to look at the spreads. To be perfectly honest, so you said, all right, so 239, all right, is where it closed, all right? Now, that's, I assume that's probably the daily chart.
Yeah, that's the daily one.
All right, I'd probably want to look at an 8-week chart on that. Do you know how to pull up an 8-week chart?
On here it shows 1 day, 5 day, month. I mean, I have to go.
Yeah, month. Do 6 weeks, 8 weeks,
We'll do a month.
3 months. How about 3 months?
There's a month right there.
Okay, so it really dipped about a month ago.
Yeah, I see the decline.
Well, it dipped about 2 weeks ago. Market took a hit, so it's coming back. All right, can you go to 90 days?
And what company is that to be exact?
We're looking at Microsoft.
Okay.
90 days.
Now we got 6 months.
6 months is fine. Okay, so it's still looking relative to a 6-month chart. It's still on the low end.
Right.
All right, so um, look at that mountaintop to the left of your screen.
Right, I see it.
And tell me where it's at. I'd say 250 maybe,
280.
280. So it's off 40 points. All right.
So what exactly the points mean?
That means it went from $280 a share to $239.
So could I make money as the stock falling, or the best thing to
Yeah.
get money up? Sure.
Well, yeah, you can, if you're bearish against stock and you think it's going to continue to fall, you buy, you buy a put option.
And what is that? Another shot? I mean, another option?
It's an option, and it defines when it expires.
Is that a whole entirely different stock?
No, but okay, so I'd have to look at the option screen, which I can't see right now. But I'll tell you what I would do with this. It looks like it's on an uptrend.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So what I would do with this, I would go out to, I'd go out about 8 to 12 weeks, all right? And I would buy a put option. I wouldn't buy, I would sell a put option, okay?
So when you say when you go out, what do you mean by that?
I'm going out 12 weeks to expiration.
So that's like in a 12 weeks investment, something like that?
No, I can get rid of it any time.
No,
That's
but
the good thing about
not being committed, but that's what the goal is. The goal, your goal.
my goal is to get out as quickly as possible. It's much money.
Okay, go ahead.
If I can
keep
get
going.
out tomorrow,
Okay,
I'll
keep
get
going.
out tomorrow.
All right, keep going then.
All right. So anyway, I would want to write the put slightly above where the stock's trading at right now. All right. So I might want to I might want to sell at 245. Now, I want to sell at 240 and buy at 245. Okay? Now, well, that's a 5 point difference in spread. All right? So that means I get the premium for the 240. Let's say that's $3. But I buy the 245 put. Okay? So now,
At $3?
no, I sold the one at 3, but I'm buying the higher one at $1.50.
Okay.
All right? So now my net credit is $1.50. All right? As long as that thing goes and stays above 240, I'm cool. All right? I took in $3.50 and I spent $5. No, I spent $2. Wait. I took in, wait,
Spend $1.50.
yeah. What I taken, $3.50? And I spent $1.50. So I now have a $2 net credit. Right? The worst that I can lose is $5. But I quantify what my option, what the percentage is of it hitting there. And if it's 67% and I have a 33% chance of losing, well, I'm ahead of the game. And as soon as it hits that number, I get out. It's that simple.
So let me ask you something. I see it on a decline.
And I write it again.
So it's on a decline. So would
Yeah,
you
but it's
jump
on a decline, but it's on an uptick.
So if I'm looking at it, don't forget we talking to the average people. So if they see it on a decline, we see it is not really an upscale, but it's kind of even, which somebody that understands stock they can
No,
see
it
that.
actually looks like it's breaking out to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. But we talking about the average consumers. Would it be a good thing to jump into it now or wait till it start going up?
Well, you have to remember one thing, okay? All right, we just got through Christmas season, all right? So by the time people get finished paying off their Christmas gifts, getting their credit cards, and everything else, they're not doing shit, okay? They're like, like stuck they're hiding under the bed, trying to pay their bills, all right? Come February, it's getting a little bit better. Come March or April, some people file their taxes and they're getting money back so they can start spending a little bit more. All right?
Can you talk about the bull and the bear market for many people that don't know about that?
Well, a bull market and a bear market. A bull market means something's going up. A bear market means something's going down. Okay? So if you're bullish on something, you're optimistic about it. If you're bearish on something, you're pessimistic. Okay? So, and there are different ways to apply those terms. Bull. Like if I say I'm buying a bull put spread, well, put is an optimistic term. But if I'm bullish on a put, it means I'm optimistic on the market. You understand?
Yeah.
Two negatives equal one positive. Okay? So, it's just very interesting, and I think that, actually analyzing these type of credit spreads.
So
Nasi asked the question earlier ago, all right? Like, what do you need to get into the stock market? Well, you don't need anything. You need $1 or whatever, But to get into the options market and doing spreading games or spreading trades, they're not games. Nothing's a game. So when it comes to your money and you lose, that's not a fun game to play, right? But analysis of it and doing it and learning about it without having to put your own capital into it is something that has just been created.
so how we get to do that?
Well, I just told you do it with E-Trade. You could do it TD Ameritrade, and you could do it Tasty Trade. Now, the guy who developed Tasty Trade, the one dude, his name is Tom Sosnoff, okay? And the other guy is Anthony uh, Batiglione, whatever. Some like, you know, monosyllabic Italian name. they're always they're always breaking each other's, balls all day long. But they're really funny to watch. It's like watching the Howard Stern show, but it's oriented around stocks.
Mixers hooked up.
It really is. It's good. So for people who just like don't want to watch CNBC and find it too boring, I would highly recommend
At a
Tasty Treat.
reasonable level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry.
And did you ever see the fat guy who was the comedian who wore his head back, his cap backwards, and would spaz out on stage?
Oh, yeah.
You remember what I'm
He
talking?
selling stocks and everything?
No, I'm talking about the joke guy, the comedian.
Which one we talking about?
No, I see you knows what I'm talking about.
Well, go ahead, elaborate on it.
I forgot his name, but he died. But Sosnoff is kind of chubby and wears his hat, but he did lose some weight, so I got to give him that much credit. But he looks like that guy. And then Andrea Battaglia, his cohort, they used to run an exchange, like one of the firms on the Chicago Board of Options Exchange. I mean, they're smart asses. If you go down to like the Phillies Option Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, or the Chicago's Board of Options, these guys take nothing serious. They will bet on how much a rabbit's hair grows. They are they're cool. But it's a fun business.
Yo, Lou, you out there?
Are we still there?
Yeah, keep talking, man.
Oh, okay. So anyway, I got into the business because I was always fascinated by it. I wasn't born with anything. My father died when I was 12.
You outside?
I was fortunate enough to be able to get good, like, standardized test scores, but I was lazy. I didn't get good grade scores, but I always get like 14, 1500 on my SATs. It was like, hey, this dude is really smart, but there's something wrong with him. Because they were right. But,
Yeah.
so I got a scholarship to George Washington University in Washington, D.C., and I worked for a couple brokerage firms down there. And then I got in, I worked for the SBA, so when Nancy asked me about my affiliation with that, it was just, I worked there a few months, learned enough to realize that nobody does anything there. And then I got in the insurance business with John Hancock, came back to Philly, stayed in insurance business, became a full-time stockbroker, started doing institutional trades, and that's it.
So let me ask you about Tasty. So you think that'll be a good investment or something to look into?
Absolutely. I think if anybody really wants to enhance their knowledge of trading and take it like on a step-by-step basis and a step-by-step level by a couple of guys who just really put it in like common English, that you don't have to be some Oxford University student to understand what they're talking about. These are the guys.
So just to close this up, just to close this show up, you can be basically the average person that makes a lot of fucking money into these products that you was explaining to us and how to go about to become better financially.
Yeah, those are great starts. And to be perfectly honest with you, if you got $2,000 and you're just getting your head above water, and finally the wolves are off your door, do not invest that. Okay? Wait until you got about 5, 10 G's, 10 G's, and you got a little bit of cushion blow. That's when you start.
But I like the Tasty thing, but right
Taste, But learn it,
I'm going on it. I'm learning it right now, and I advise everybody to look it up too because that's money that can help you.
and it's free.
Sure. Shout out to my man Matt Brady for coming through, dropping it down real heavy for us, and you know, holding it down for the tri-state. And basically, no, this thing is bigger than the tri-state. I apologize for that because knowledge is like infinite, like water.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Blow out the tasty trade too, because if they hear you doing your podcast, they're going to give you a pound, and they're going to know that they're doing what they want to do. Bring real. These guys are masters of the game, and they're bringing it down to a level that every individual should know, not just some guy.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. I like that. You know. Okay, so if you finished, if you signed off, anything
Yeah.
you like to say before you
Well,
sign off?
yeah, I do.
Okay. So how could so would you help somebody out if they needed you personally or a company or insurance? What are you selling? What did you got to offer? You got anything you selling? Anything?
Yes, sell safety first,
Okay.
and and sell yourself. Invest in yourself first, okay? And then, as you develop your knowledge, as you acquire the knowledge, as you acquire the skills that you need to, move on, move on. But never leave yourself in a position where you got holes that you can't fill, okay? That's a bad move, and that's setting up the ingredients for you to play catch-up ball. And nobody likes playing
So
catch-up.
any tips you have about tasting? Because I'm getting ready.
I would,
Soon as we sign off, I'm going on.
I would, I would listen to those guys every day, so you know what they're talking about.
Appreciate y'all. Black